Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jeremy and Andrew Show. And now, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Andrew.
Hi guys, welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Jeremy and Andrew Show.
Cheers.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Andrew G. Thank you guys for checking us out on another Monday night. We got an awesome show for you guys. Again, you guys check us out. I'm AndrewG.comedy. I'm on YouTube, Instagram. We got a Facebook page. Jeremy Hubshire. You can find him all over the social media things as well. But yeah, we got a good show for you. We're a little bit behind with the way we're shooting this, but to get things started off, Shane Gillis. This is becoming the Shane Gillis podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
the Shane Gillis fanboy podcast. No, I mean he's been so relevant lately. Obviously we all know he got canceled from SNL very quickly. He just hosted SNL. Prior to that, he got the Bud Light sponsorship, and now he's going to be on his Netflix show. So I don't know if you heard much about that.
I haven't.
I think we've talked about Tires before. I think I brought it up to you. I don't think you've ever seen it. But Tires was really funny. It was like basically a pilot episode that got released. So it was him and McKeever, and really funny first episode. And it's been sitting out there on the interwebs for a couple years now, maybe more. It's been a while. Got taken down, and Netflix basically picked him up. So pretty amazing trajectory here that he's on.
Yeah, what did you think about Shane's episode? What you saw of it?
I thought his monologue was hilarious. Maybe we can try to show a little bit of that.
Thank you very much. I'm here. Most of you probably have no idea who I am. I was fired from this show a while ago, but don't look that up. Please, if you don't know who I am, please don't Google that. It's fine. Don't even worry about it. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be up here, honestly. I should be home. I should be a high school football coach. That's what I should be. Like, God molded me perfectly to be a high school football coach / ninth grade sex education teacher. But that is what I want to be. That is, I can feel it. It's in there. It's like my true calling. And you feel, I can feel it. I'm getting older. It's passing me by. Like my biological clock is ticking on this stream. You know how like when a woman's biological clock is ticking, she sees like a baby in a stroller and is like, oh my God, your baby. Like that's how I am if I see like a big 15-year-old. I'm like, oh my God, look at the size of that kid. With the right coaching, that kid could be something special, I'm telling you right now. I come from a long line of coaches in my family. My father is actually a volunteer assistant girls high school basketball coach. He's actually here right now. Can you get him on there? Yeah. There he is. There's my dad, the volunteer assistant girls high school basketball coach. I thought it was funny. All right. You don't think that's funny to bring my dad here to make fun of him for being a girls' high school basketball coach? All right. I thought it was great. Never mind. Thought that was going to be a big hit here. Now, my mom's up there with him. My mom, I'm not going to make fun of you. My mom asked me this a lot, and it's kind of an intense question. My mom asked me, she's like, when did we stop being best friends? And she's right. We used to be best friends. You remember that when you were a little boy and you loved your mom and you thought she was the cool. You remember when you were gay? You remember when you were just a gay little boy? Every little boy is just their mom's gay best friend. There's literally zero difference. I was gay for my mom. She would pick me up from school. I'd hop in the van. I'd be like, girl, tell me about your day. I thought she was cool. I would listen to her music. I'd be like, bam, bam, ba-dam, bam, bam, bam. Let's go, girls. I would dance for her. She'd be like, look at my little dancer. But my mom asked me when we stopped being best friends, and I don't have the heart to tell her because, like most men, I know exactly when me and my mom stopped being friends. It was the first time I whacked off. All right. Because before that, you're like, oh, where's my mom? I love my mom. She's so cool. One nut, you're like, when's that bitch gonna leave the house? I have so much business to attend to. All right. I hope I could say those words on TV. Anyway, my whole family's here, so I'll talk about them instead of anything else. Talk about my family. I'll tell you this. I don't know if you guys, if you can tell by looking at me, but I do have family members with Down syndrome. It almost got me. I dodged it, but it nicked me. It nicked me. It's funny. It's fun. Look, I don't have any material that can be on TV, all right?
Obviously, copyright issues might play a role in that, but we can try to show you a little bit of that.
I think he was nervous. He was set up to fail with all those, leftist douchebags in the audience.
Yeah, you could. I mean, there were some members of the band that were just stone faced. Other ones were laughing. They were with it. And I mean, Gillis is hilarious. I mean, if you're a fan of comedy and you watch that and you don't think any of it's funny at all, like maybe it's not your style. But I mean, at that point, I just don't think you're really into comedy. Like,
yeah, you're not into comedy. You should kill yourself. But like,
no,
and
just stay
subscribe
alive
first.
You already have no joy, so you might as well just keep living that dream. I thought his monologue was phenomenal. I thought that the skits I thought he was pretty good in them. I thought that the writing was SNL. I don't think that they did any favors for Shane to make him shine. Apparently, they didn't take any of him and McKeever's sketches or anything, from what I understand. There was one sketch at the very end, which was a butt plug thing, which was kind of funny. I thought that might have had a little bit of essence of Shane in there, but apparently not.
I did see the one sketch that they cut, the Liberty Mutual sketch.
Yes.
Which was fucking great.
Absolutely hilarious. And I guess that got cut more for the gun violence than anything. But yeah, I mean, that's on YouTube. So SNL's putting this stuff on YouTube. And the sketches on YouTube are getting 8 million, 15 million views. So like SNL's making a lot of money off of having Shane Gillis on the show. Their ratings went up. It was probably one of their most watched episodes in a very long time. But yeah, I thought that there could have been a little bit of a better, some better sketches, some better writing for him. They could have included some of his circle, which would have been cool. I mean, SNL doesn't generally do that, so I guess that makes sense. But
for Andy Samberg, they let him do the Lonely Island shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that is true. So they definitely could have given Shane a little bit more of like his ensemble that he's used to working with from Gillian Keeves. But...
I mean, Chappelle, they did basically Chappelle Show sketch the one time.
Yeah, I mean they did let him do his Trump impression, which was pretty funny. The Air Trump thing. They had his sneakers, and then he airballs a shot. It went in. They're like, it didn't go in. And he's like, yes, it did. And as funny as even that was, it was just like the politics of SNL get in the way of it. Their first opening sketch with all the politicians coming in, it was so weak. They're sitting there talking about Trump and how great he is, but then also like, shitting on him. And it's like, come on, like just at that point, you might as well just stop talking about Trump. But I guess they had to do it.
That's their little echo chamber. Like it's been probably 10 or 15 years since I watched a full episode of SNL.
Same.
And I don't miss it. Like every once in a while, they'll have something that's worth watching on YouTube.
Usually, I hear about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, usually it comes up where like, hey, this is a really good sketch. You should actually check it out. I forget the last one that was like that. There was definitely one a little while ago. Where
Michael Che and Colin Farrell. I'm sorry, not Farrell.
Whatever his name is.
Colin Jost trading jokes.
Oh, when he did his jokes and they did. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Hey, that's not even for me.
Like 2 or 3. I enjoyed it. It's like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like they have all the pieces to be a good comedy show, but they decided fuck it.
That's like everything else. I mean, it's just the wokeness and the bias and everything. It just sucks. It sucks, especially when you're trying to put out comedy. I mean, there's a reason why things are funny, and it's because you're taking the line and you're saying there is no line. You're letting people, it's all right. We're gonna go out on a limb here. That's what going out on a limb is, right? It's you're towing the line and you're doing something that is potentially controversy, but it's funny because we're all in on it together. We're all recognizing this is a joke together. And for whatever reason, I don't know.
And it's okay to do political humor like the other side of your beliefs, but for fuck's sake, don't just do something that's mocking the other person. So your audience goes, tee hee hee, I agree.
Yeah.
Tepid little titter.
They did have Biden playing basketball and falling at the end of that one sketch, which was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, they really hammer it in with the Trump stuff. It's insane.
I don't think they wanted to bring Shane back, but they saw that how hot he was.
Oh, yeah.
And their ratings are probably dog shit most of the time.
Yeah. And I think when Nate Bargatze was on, I think that was kind of a pretty well-rated show. I think, that was one of the ones. And, yeah, I mean, comedy's hot right now. Stand-up comedy is fucking crazy. Like, it's a boom. It's definitely, there's been a big boom over the past couple of years, and I haven't seen it let up. I've only seen it get stronger and stronger. Speaking of, I got to see Joe List last night. Live,
that's cool.
He was phenomenal. It was a great show.
Yeah, I've seen Joe before. I like it. I like him.
Yeah, he's really funny. He was actually practicing for the Late Show, I guess, with Fallon or Kimmel. I don't know. He just said Jimmy, so it's one of the Jimmys. So yeah, he's gonna be doing his set, but he kind of was trying to work out his set and work on the timing there, which was pretty cool. But he was saying that they won't let him say I hate my friends. They're like, oh yeah, nothing with hate or something like that. It's like, come on, what is wrong with you?
Bullshit.
So then he's like, yeah, I have to say I love my friends, but I don't like my friends or something like that. And it's like, yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
That's like 1960s level censorship.
That's like Elvis isn't allowed to shake his hips. Censorship. That's insane.
Or the Doors are not allowed to say we can't get much higher.
No, they say to me, couldn't get much higher. Yeah, that was awesome.
I think that was 11 seconds. You're gonna have to cut that out.
I don't think I was quite on key. I don't think the censors are gonna pick that one up.
And of course, Jim Morrison did it anyways.
Yeah, which was badass, but I mean, wasn't really saying anything too crazy. He was talking about getting, praying and spiritual and getting close to God. You know what I mean? In other comedy news, we'll cover this. It's something funny. So Bert Kreischer goes on stage, takes off his shirt.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. That's his thing. Well, I guess Natasha Leggero went up right after him somewhere at the Comedy Store or somewhere, and she took off her shirt and did her set topless, evidently. We can see the pictures. We can pull them up.
Okay, let's dig deeper into this. I've not heard about this. So.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll definitely put up the picture here of what we can put up of Natasha. But she's a good-looking chick, and small cans, but nice cans to say the least. Let's see if we can. You're gonna probably see the censored one first. Maybe you won't. There you go. Oh, that's not her on stage. That's just her naked. Where's the stage photo? This is a former work computer. Hopefully they're not still tied to this in any way, shape, or form. All right, now we're just looking at porn.
Artistic expressions of her little...
Yeah, this is not working out well. We're literally just looking at naked women right now. Okay, well, here's maybe a clip of it a little bit here. But yeah, it was, she's making a point of why can guys do it? We can't do it. It's because guys are horny animals and women could give a shit less. But Yeah. So I mean, you get the point. You've seen the cans now.
Okay, she's got little perkies.
She's got little perkies. Good hard dips on her. At the show they were hard. I'm sure she was pretty excited about that. We're covering more on this than I expected to. But what do you think of this, Jeremy? I know you went the machine on Halloween.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. Is it freeing for you?
No.
Feel good up there, or is it embarrassing?
No, it's cold.
It's cold. Yeah.
Why couldn't I do this
She
during
looks
like
cold.
during like July?
Yeah, October not the best month for that, but
I mean, whatever, hides the fact that you stole from. No, I'm sorry, Amy might have stole from Natasha.
Schumer?
Najera. Yeah.
What? Taking off her top?
No, material. There was a big
I was
controversy.
gonna say most people wouldn't have wanted
few
to see
years
Amy
ago.
Schumer doing that. Yeah. There's been a couple things about Schumer taking some things from people. That's been kind of in the. That's been kind of well known a little bit in the comedy world, I think.
I did go see her live once. I actually took my girlfriend to see Amy,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed it. I didn't know
Yeah, she was funny. I mean,
that maybe that she might have, some of her act might have been written through osmosis, through
osmosis.
through her ex-boyfriend Jeselnik.
Ah, that makes sense.
Like, I mean, just hanging out with Jeselnik, he's such a brilliant writer that just shit's gonna come from him, and you're like,
I was
oh.
never so into Jeselnik. I don't know. He never really did it for me.
Oh, I love Jeselnik. He comes off as like a big piece of shit, and I love it. He's
Yeah.
dark. He doesn't give a fuck.
Maybe that's why. I just feel like his personality hasn't won me over, but he's not trying to win me over, so that's.
And you
another
shouldn't
thing.
try to win people over. You should go on stage and do your style of humor.
Yeah. See, I always feel like I have to win people over a little bit because that's part of the game is likability. The more that they like you, the more that they're gonna laugh. I'm the
exact
have to
opposite.
People, I feel like you got to get them on your side a little bit. And I've seen comics that don't do that. I've seen comics that don't do that, and the people that laugh. It is what it is. But yeah, it's not my style personally, but I can appreciate it when people do it. I think it's pretty cool, actually.
But I'm going to go on stage. I'm going to do my style of humor. I don't give a fuck. And the cunts are going to laugh, or they're not.
Well, that's like when we saw Holtzman live. It almost seemed like he was yelling at the people that weren't laughing. Mm-hmm. And he was. But that's part of his set. Like that, he was doing that same stuff because I watched his special, his hour-long special from a year ago, and he was doing that same sort of a stuff where he's like, if you're not laughing at a comedy show, like it's on you, basically. Like everybody else, the people that are laughing knows that we're fucking around, we're having a good time. This is funny,
No, you come from a magic background, so you're
a little bit.
So you're not gonna do like a trick, like in a hat where instead of pulling out like a bird, you pull out a bird. Like,
I get it.
ta-da!
Actually, that is one of the funny things. Is like you could you kind of take a silk and you put it over your hand, and then you raise up your finger, and it looks like something's rising out of the silk, and then you pull off the silk, and it's just your middle finger. That's good. That's good magician humor. I like that stuff.
Yeah, but we have a very different style of comedy.
Yeah, and I'm embracing it, and I really do like the comedians that are able to do that and just kind of go out and even shit on the audience a little bit at times and still make it funny. I appreciate that stuff. In sadder comedy news, very recently, Richard Lewis passed away.
Oh, that was sad. You kind of see him and stuff, but you
forget.
You forget. You don't notice him.
Yeah, we talked about it not too long ago. Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
He played a great role in that. Obviously, his work on Curb Your Enthusiasm, very, very funny there. He's been a stand-up comedian for a long time. He I guess it's been about a year since he stopped doing stand-up because I didn't even realize he had gotten diagnosed with Parkinson's.
I didn't even realize he was 76.
Yeah.
Because he looked pretty young for a long time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he always kind of looked the same, you know. When you look at him, you always had he aged pretty well, and yeah, it's a shame. You know, he was definitely one of the comedy greats, and you know, a little bit before my time, some of his stuff, but he's been doing it. He's been, you know, still staying relevant for a long time too. So, so yeah, it was a bummer to see that happened. I don't know. Have you? I've never seen much of his actual stand up. I feel like.
I feel like a lot of his actual stand up was when I was a kid and Dad was too cheap to get HBO.
Yeah, he was on HBO, wasn't he?
Yeah,
a lot of his specials and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so R.I.P. That was a sad one, and I liked Larry David's quote in response, basically saying like, you know, I love the guy, this and that, blah blah blah. But he's like, but today he made me sob, and I'll never forgive him for that, or something like that. Like, I mean, he still found a way to make it pretty funny.
Yeah,
which is cool. St. Patty's Day's coming up.
I didn't know how big of a deal St. Patty's Day was until I started driving Uber.
That's a big St. Patty's Day Uber drive night.
Everybody's
drunk in the car.
It's not the biggest day of the year, but
day before Thanksgiving is.
Usually, yeah,
that's a big drinking day. See, I don't want to go out on those drinking days though. Like that. Like I'm a professional drinker. I'm not an amateur drinker here. You know, I don't want to be around those big crowds and everything. It's not. Now, it will be, you know, St. Patty's Day's my wedding anniversary, so happy anniversary to the wifey. It was actually a really cool day to have a wedding.
Yeah.
St. Patty's Day, a Saturday, open bar. We had a fucking blast. We had a blast. It went by all too fast. But in other drinking news, Kid Rock was on Joe Rogan drinking Bud Light, having a gay old time. I mean, he shot up the cans of Bud Light. Mm-hmm. Since then, he's been seen drinking Bud Light in numerous photos and different occasions.
I think that's a little disappointing. You know, when you put ammo in some beer, you know, you're trying to make a statement and you're trying to accomplish something. It kind of feels like he pussied out.
He never said, you know, hey, you know, boycott Bud Light. You know, he just kind of said Grandpa's feeling frisky, shot him up, and then
come on,
Bud Light or whatever.
We all know what he's trying to accomplish, but
it's the same thing as Kanye dropping crazy shit, leaving, coming back, and having the #1 album, #1 commercial for the Super Bowl, making all this merchandise. It's the same exact thing. He did this, and now he's getting checks from Bud Light. You know, he even said on Joe Rogan, like, send me a check, Bud Light. And it's like, dude, come on. Like, and how much money do you fucking need? Come on. If he was smart with his money, he's still got millions upon millions of dollars. So,
do you think Kid Rock is really smart with his money?
He probably isn't, but I'm sure he has a financial advisor, so people guiding him in some way, shape, or form. I mean, you can't make that much money for that long and be that successful and not, you know. It's not like he's a athlete that hasn't been playing for 20 years and now he's out of money. He's still been pretty relevant.
You remember how much MC Hammer blew through in a couple years?
No. Was he doing coke?
No, he was just very out of pocket with his spending. I think he went through like $30 or $50 million.
Those pants are expensive.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the dry cleaning bill.
There's a lot of fabric there, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? that was kind of Asian. But that's not to say that they're all dry cleaners either.
But it just feels like a cop-out that...
It sucks. It does suck a little bit.
My boycott of Bud Light is still going on.
That's true.
44 years.
You were ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You've been ahead of the game. Very, very impressive. What should we get into here, Jeremy?
Let me see.
Should we go to Strickland?
Yeah, let's go to Strickland.
So you've seen the video. I mean, we wanted to talk about it a while back, but just the way the timing of the shows were. I mean, Strickland came out before his big fight on pay-per-view or whatever. I guess now it's been a couple months. The fight that he lost by decision, and he came out and he had some choice words for the media. He came out against. He's like, "Oh, you want a gay son?" and all that stuff. Do you remember those?
Yeah. Apparently, he was bashing like a Canadian quote unquote journalist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And the journalist was going back and forth,
which is just a euphemism for homosexual.
There you go. Yeah, and Strickland was awesome. I mean, the way he gave it, he's a man of the people. You know what I mean? Definitely a man of the people.
Very Kobe Covington-ish with his behavior.
He doesn't like influencers, which we are not, because we influence nobody. Now, I drive under the influence. No, I'm just...
I pick people up who are under the influence.
But he doesn't like influencers. And I don't know this influencer, Sneeko. I have no clue who the fuck he is. I'm sure, maybe our younger...
I'm 44. Influencers have passed me by.
Yeah. Now it's just, X videos and porn tube for you. No more influencers. No, but this influencer Sneeko, whoever he is, went up and introduced himself to Strickland, and Strickland was basically kind of shitting on him, saying oh, I don't like influencers, and I don't exactly know how it came about, but I guess Sneeko agreed to fighting Strickland in the ring. And we're gonna have the video playing as.
And this was more than sparring. This was,
Yeah, and Strickland just sees toying with him, in the beginning. He's just we're going to go for 4 minutes, and as we get closer to that 4-minute mark, you're going to feel more and more pain, as we get there.
It was kind of like a lion playing with its food.
Yeah. It was like a cat with a dead mouse already.
Yeah.
Just toying around with it. So, yeah, I mean, he gets to that 90-second mark, and Sneaker's getting some good hits on him. He's getting some body shots. And...
I mean, for an average person, getting in some good shots.
Yeah, I mean, Strickland's not really defending himself. He's got his hands up a little bit.
Enough.
He's cracking up, man. He's just laughing and talking shit the whole time.
I'm surprised he's not ordering takeout while he's being punched. Or Siri, call this man an ambulance.
That would have been funny if he was painting a picture in the ring while he's getting punched or something. But yeah, I mean, once they get to about that 3-minute mark, Strickland just
the shit gets real.
Unloads on Sneeko, and I mean, he gets a few good lefts in, right in his face. I mean, they were what I would consider to be pretty good haymakers. But I mean, I'm sure he was probably holding back a little bit.
I'm sure that's only 50%.
He knew he could kill the guy. But yeah, I mean, at the end of it, when you see Sneeko's face, he got fucked up, dude.
He looked like a woman who didn't have dinner ready on time
in Italy. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. He definitely got the shit kicked out of him. But it was really, really funny, to say the least.
I would have loved for him to take Sneeko down and just do a little bit of ground and pound and go, "Make America great! Make America great!"
Oh my gosh, dude, that's too funny.
Again!
Yeah, so Strickland is a fucking beast, and yeah, if you're an influencer, just stay away.
And it's not
don't even introduce yourself.
It's not like Sneeko was in bad shape. He had like skinny muscle.
It was definitely mid heavyweight versus not a featherweight, but not exactly, maybe a little bit more than a featherweight. I mean, Strickland's got a lot of weight on him. That was the other thing, But
Strickland looked like a heavyweight in my book.
Yeah, next to Sneeko for sure. Yeah. So that was pretty entertaining. I thought that was something fun that we could enjoy putting the clip up for everybody to watch. let's get into this because it's happened so recently. The cell phone outages. So you know me, I'm a big conspiracy guy, and when I say conspiracy guy, I mean I know my shit. So I don't know if you were affected by the outage at all.
Oh hell no! I got the T-Mobile.
Got that T-Mobile.
And the T stands for terrific.
Oh, okay. I thought it was testosterone.
No.
So yeah, you got T-Mobile. I have AT&T. My wife has AT&T. Her phone was not working the entire day. Well, actually, it started working maybe a little later in the afternoon. But when all the outages were happening, I had to get something from her at work, and I'm like, trying to text her. I'm like, my text going through, which me and you always have issues with. My texts never go through to you. That's been happening for months for whatever reason. My texts weren't going through. I tried calling. It would go right to her voicemail. So I did find a way through Alexa to use the announcement thing to say, like, hey, your phone's not working. I'm trying to get a hold of you. And her email was not working either. She was having issues with that on her phone. So if you're ever having issues, that actually worked. The announcement went through the house and on the TV and everything, and she was able to see, like, so as bad as Alexa is, because she's definitely listening to everything you say all the time, my Alexa's on mute. I have it on mute.
So, so you have AT&T. Do you and your wife have iPhones?
Nope. We both have Droids. Both Droid people. But yeah, her phone did not work at all.
Yeah, I got a Droid. I got the S2020 something. I don't even remember which number I got.
S22 or something like that. But they were trying to blame it on solar flares. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to blame it on something with the network. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to blame it on all this stuff. What they weren't trying to say is that it was cyber attacks, which I believe deeply that it was cyber attacks. I think China's testing us. We know that the southern border is open, and now a bunch of Chinese illegals are coming over. A bunch of them have gotten through. Quite a few have gotten caught. The numbers are astronomical as far as.
But they don't even need to come over. They can just set up their shit in some sort of Beijing, whatever. And go ching chong, ching chong chong.
That is why Trump started Space Force, which everybody kind of laughed about Space Force. But yeah, I mean, the satellite thing is real. I mean, they can take out a lot very quickly with satellites. But no, it's scary because there's a lot of people in our country right now that don't love America and can do a lot of harm, I think, rather quickly. If the power goes out and these people are well organized, maybe they have satellite phones, maybe they're using something, Starlink or something to communicate, or whatever they have, it's pretty scary. I mean, another spy balloon was floating. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Recently, another fucking spy balloon. So, who knows what is going on?
And I think I heard Joe Biden say, I might be quoting him wrong, I love balloons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard something that apparently Russia is trying to send satellites into space with nuclear weapons on them.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe. Here, let's put it this way. Tucker Carlson is able to go to Russia, have an interview with Vladimir Putin, stay there, go to the subway, go to the grocery store, come and go freely, even criticize Putin coming back to America, no problem at all. He wants to go talk to Zelensky, and Ukraine puts him on a kill list. What does it tell you that the one that we're supposed to be allies with puts an American citizen on their kill list and doesn't want him going and talking to Putin? I think shit's a little flipped around here.
No.
Who's really the enemy, right?
No, I still think Russia, they're cunts, they're pieces of shit. They are dictators.
Well, we know that, yeah. Yeah, Putin's definitely a dictator.
Yeah.
But
we knew that Ukraine wasn't, as much of an ally as we, were made to think they are for a while now.
Well, Ukraine has been, there's been article after article over the past decade about how corrupt Ukraine is, and then next thing you know, oh no, they're not corrupt. Let's just send them, hundreds of billions of dollars, no problem. This is fucking retarded.
Like, I'm not against our country sending them money, but I do want an audit of where the fuck the money's going to.
It's going into a lot of people's pockets, and Ukraine cannot win this war, in my opinion.
No, they can't.
There's no way.
They need some sort of like a negotiated off ramp where Russia gets something, Ukraine gets something, just so that Russia doesn't end up taking over Ukraine.
So, I mean, have you seen the U.S. airman that set himself on fire?
Yeah.
In protest of Palestine? Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
I didn't see the video, but I did hear about it.
I saw the video, and then it blurred up into the point where he was actually on fire, and I heard him screaming, "Free Palestine, free Palestine." He's screaming it. And then people start freaking out. He's about the fire, and then it cuts away. But I did see like a picture of the fire next to him, and then like kind of going up his body and stuff. Fucking terrifying. That's pretty wild. Obviously, the guy was having a lot of mental issues.
No, he was an anarchist and a leftist.
Well, that makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild for that to have happened. And obviously, he's a pretty accomplished person to get. You got to go through college. You got to do a lot of things before you can actually be a.
They'll accept
US
anybody
airman,
with
but-
a heartbeat in the Air Force.
Well, now they will. They're going to put a bunch of illegal immigrants in the fucking army and try to give them citizenship.
Like, they would accept both of our fat asses.
I'm legally blind in one eye.
I got the diabetes.
I have 3 testicles.
I can't beat that.
Yeah, so that was pretty fucking wild, that video. But with the outages, not only were the cell phones out, but people don't realize like the pharmacy systems were down. So people that were trying to get their medications couldn't get medications because the pharmacy couldn't, get the insurance to cover this and that. So, I mean, that's a whole nother issue. When you start talking about cell phone communication and outages, pharmacy outages, people who rely on insulin, not being able to get insulin, and then power outages. So if just those 3 things all happen at once, that's a lot of people are going to die right there. Because
that's some Twilight Zone shit.
Wow, that's
You ever see that one episode where the aliens turn off the power for a day and they just watch to see what happens?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, actually.
It's not good.
One day?
One day.
Yeah, I mean, within 3 days, we're in pretty severe chaos, I think. Because then people are going to wonder when it's coming back, and then people start to panic. And then people start to run out of resources. And,
I think you'll have pockets of people going all batshit, but I think there's like other, more sane people who are just going to adapt accordingly.
But there's also like the things you don't think about, like newborn babies. They rely on their mother's milk. A lot of times they're freezing the milk. If the freezer goes and then they lose their backup supply, and that like there's so many different things that factor into it.
Oh, there's so many moving parts.
Yeah, and like even in Texas when they had their big deep freeze, that was a big issue. You can't get heat in your house. A newborn baby can die. There's all those factors that when enough of those things happen, maybe 95% of the population are totally fine and are able to kind of muscle through it. But there's going to be those desperate people that run into those situations.
Reavers.
What is it?
You never watched Firefly?
No.
They just got to the edge of the universe and they started killing each other. Reavers.
Oh.
They stopped caring.
There you go. That was a Firefly. Was that a series?
It had one season on Fox. Then they let what's his name make a movie, which which was incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
But, you're going to have some Reavers, losing their shit, going all violent.
Yeah, it'll be pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, this is the stuff that I've been talking about for a while. It's definitely coming, guys. I hope you're ready. I hope you have resources and stuff. I looked into getting a satellite phone. Those things are so expensive, though.
How bad?
I mean, there are ones that are within like the few $100 range, but it seemed like anything decent, you're looking at $1,000. But then, if I want a satellite phone, and then I want my wife to have a satellite phone, and then I want my parents who are in Florida to have a satellite phone, and I want some of my friends to have a satellite phone, you look at $10,000 or whatever to have satellite phones amongst, and that's just for us to communicate. That's not even like, to get an emergency call from somewhere. That's literally just to be like, hey, where are you? I'm here. Let's meet up wherever. Or you need this, I need that. But
the fee to cancel the contract on a satellite phone must be brutal.
yeah.
Remember that?
They got you by the balls.
They got you by the balls and the taint.
I think that's pretty much the main crux of what we wanted to get into for this episode. And man, it flew by. I can't believe we're almost at 40 minutes in. Anything you want to close with, Jeremy?
No.
All right. Fair enough.
Bye-bye.
We will, guys, we'll see you on Monday, 6 p.m. next week. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Check out andrewg.comedy on Instagram and YouTube. Go to the Jeremy and Andrew Show Facebook page. Like us there.
And show me some love on MySpace.
Show Jeremy some love on MySpace. Slip into his DMs. Big Booty Hose. Get in there. Show your Natasha Leggeros off. And let's all have a good time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for watching the Jeremy and Andrew Show. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. New show every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.